So it is iPhone season. You're probably looking for a case to protect that brand new iPhone 16 of yours, and this is where that video comes in. So TORRAS actually sent over a bunch of different covers for us to check out today. And if you don't know what TORRAS is, TORRAS makes high quality phone cases, and if you actually go to their website, you will see that they have a bunch of different options for the iPhone 16 range, ranging from flip cases to stand cases to standard cases, clear cases, and sort of everything in between. They also have screen protectors and even camera lens protectors, which may sound a little bit weird, but my wife actually dropped her phone and a rock hit one of the lenses and it actually broke that lens. So they do actually help a lot. And then they also have a bunch of different accessories like charging cables and even charging bricks, which we will look at later today as well. So if you need any sort of accessories for your iPhone 16, then do check out TORRAS. I will leave a link to their website down in the description below. But for today, we're actually going to start by unboxing all of these sort of cases that they sent over, as well as the screen protector, just sort of see how they look, how they perform, and yeah, we'll take it from there. So all of the cases we're going to be unboxing today are going to be the stand case. So there are a bunch of different variations of this case. Some have this sort of like pull shape that actually just pulls out. Some have these on the actual camera lens sort of section. You also have the ring ones. So they did send over 3 different ring ones in different colors. So this is sort of just going to be a stand case and a color variation of those. But if you do want to look at all the others, once again, check out their website. They do have other options available as well. But let's actually start with all of the cases. So the first one is going to be this sort of case in white. So the white for me is a really sort of clean and minimal looking sort of case. The only sort of big difference on this one is the sort of silver ring that you have in the middle section. Other than that, it is sort of this very Arctic white with this subtle change in white on the side section, which is also very textured. Then of course you have the section for all of your buttons. You have your standard sort of iPhone 16 notch, which is going to be the easy way to identify whether this is for iPhone 16 or not. Then you of course also have the branding on the inside. Another thing to mention is that all of these covers are MagSafe compatible, and they actually increase the power of your MagSafe sort of devices. So if you have the wallet or whatever it is that you have, then it will actually stick way better to these devices than just on your phone itself. Now, of course, the main features of this is the flip ring. So these rings are actually very sturdy. They do require somewhat of a force to actually pull them out, which is good. Then of course they can rotate sort of 360. So if you want to place it down like this, or if you want to place it down like that, if you want to sort of just use it in your hand, you can always do that. But this is a sort of a really sturdy fit. It does require quite a bit of force to actually get it over, but it does have a nice little lip that actually protects the screen itself. So if you are just using this without a screen protector, you do have some sort of protection. So if you're going to be placing it down on tables, you do have that sort of protection. The button, of course, lines up really nicely over there. So you still have access to that to just sort of open up the camera app. You have all of your buttons, which work extremely well. So you're not losing any sort of functionality with this. And then one great feature, of course, is the fact that these have sort of a protruding lip as well, which just cover your camera lenses as well. So if this were to drop out of your pocket or something, it does still have protection on that side. And the sort of test is the wobbly. It's not actually that wobbly. So if you place it down on a desk, there's like a slight wobble on this side, but other than that, it is actually very sort of flat, which is always nice. Now, once again, if you test this out with the phone, you can place it down like this. If you wanted to, you can always use it in sort of a landscape mode as well. So if you want to watch, let's say, a movie or a Netflix series or whatever it is that you want to watch, you can place it down like this. You can always place it down like that. So if you are, let's say, watching reels, or if you're trying to film yourself, you can always do this, but then you can always place it down a little bit more straight. So if you're filming yourself this way, then of course you can still do that. So really handy case, and it's very sturdy. Like I said, it's not really gonna fall down all that easily, even if you have it at like very weird angles. Like even this, like it's still sort of standing, which is really good. So yeah, that is case number 1. Really difficult to remove, which is a good thing. On to case number 2, clay color. So clay color for me works really well if you have the new Desert Titanium, it is sort of a really good color match. So even if you have it sort of in the cover, let me add it in there quickly. But it is a really good color match. So if you have this sort of clay color, as you can see here between like the sort of the camera notches and the cover itself, it looks very identical. Even this sort of ring that they have here looks very identical to sort of rings that you have on the camera lenses. So if you want something that sort of matches the style of the phone that you got, then this of course is a good one if you have that cover. And I assume that if you're using the white one, it probably matches well with the white iPhone 16 as well. And then if you have black, of course, the black will match really nicely. Now, like I said, I really like this color because the color matches really nicely with the iPhone itself. It covers all of the screen. The notch even here at the top lines up really nicely. All in all, really good cover, very sturdy, works really nicely. I do have this sort of MagSafe accessory here, which if you sort of plonk it on the phone, it does work really nice. You can actually see if you try and pull it off, it actually pulls the ring out first, but it is very sturdy on there. So MagSafe, compatible, tested, done. Love the color, especially with the Desert Titanium. And then we go over to cover number 3, and that is gonna be black. Black for me is, it's very minimal, it's very sort of classy, it's very stylish. It's got this sort of like matte black finish to it with the, of course, ring being a little bit more shiny. You have the TORRAS logo, which is a little bit more visible compared to all of the other colors because it is just a sort of white grayish color on the black. Then once again, TORRAS logo there, TORRAS on the inside, and then once again, same sort of ring design on this one. You know, this sort of looks very sleek, very stylish. On the front, of course, it just looks like it is a standard black iPhone. But then, of course, if you go to the back, you do still see the sort of color of the iPhone that you chose. That's why, like, if you chose the black iPhone, I think this will look really nicely. It's just gonna sort of blend in everything. Once again, love the cover. Everything works really nicely. You can place it down any sort of orientation that you want. So if you want to check out the covers, like I said, different colors, sort of different variations as well, where you have the sort of pull that can sort of flip out at the bottom here. You also have these that come out of the sort of section here in the middle. You also have just the standard cases that don't have any of these sort of like flip accessories, but these are really nice. Like I said, you can use it with sort of your fingers in there if you just want to sort of keep it safe and don't want to drop it when you're actually using it. You can do all of that. These are actually really nice for that. So yeah. Then next up, of course, is the screen protector. So this is the sort of installation device. This is where your first screen protector is. This is the second one. So if you are prone to dropping your phone, breaking screens, breaking screen protectors, then this is a good buy because you buy once, you get everything that you need. But then what makes this nice is it actually lines up perfectly with the iPhone. So the iPhone sort of sits in there, and then it is really well designed. Like it's not moving at all. Like it is a perfect cutout. So what you're just gonna do is you're gonna place this sort of screen on here. Then you're gonna pull this tab, you're gonna wait 5 seconds for it to just create the perfect seal. Once that is done, you can actually lift off the plastic cover and then just use the scraping tool, which is here at the back, which has this nice sort of like clothy texture to it, just to sort of protect the screen protector. Dry cloth, wet cloth. So you start off with the wet cloth, then you wipe it off with the dry cloth, and then you have this sort of sticker, which is just there to remove any sort of remaining dust that you may have on the screen. It's just always better to do that, even though this does have auto dust assimilation. It's just always nice to just ensure that you are removing everything before you actually get on with trying to add the screen protector. Then take your dry cloth to just ensure that you're drying everything off. I'm just gonna do like a quick sort of overview of the entire screen, and then all we need to do is just add this on top of the screen, pull out the tab. It has this sort of locking feature on that, and then all we need to do is just pull away, and there you have it. So now you can actually see it sort of sticking on the inside, and then we should be able to lift off. We do have some bubbles here and there. So if I just want to sort of grab the cloth here at the bottom, and there we have it. So that is the screen protector on. Now, it does sort of end slightly before. So it is sort of edge to edge protection, but it does still sort of leave a little bit of a lip, which I'm assuming, of course, is going to be for the cover itself. Now, this one was really easy to apply. It is extremely straight because you can see on all the edges, it does have the same sort of distance. But yeah, even if you have the cover on, it is a sort of really perfect fit. Now, that is also really important because I've had cases in the past where you have a screen protector plus a cover, and then what the cover does is actually catches the lip of the screen protector, and then that just sort of lifts up the screen protector, which creates bubbles, which is just not ideal. So you'll have these sort of pockets at the bottom or the top section where it just sort of lifts the screen protector. With this one, you have a perfect sort of seal, but then if you still look at the cover itself, it is still slightly below the cover. So even with the screen protector on, it is still slightly below the edges. So even if you were to still place your phone face down, it still won't actually touch or scratch on a table or a surface or whatever it is that you have it on. And then of course, lastly, we do have the charging brick. Now this is a sort of flex line charging brick. It's 40 watts, so it does do fast charging. But what I really like about this one is it makes it really easy to travel with. So this is the entire sort of charging brick. It's very sort of low profile. Everything is contained within this one package. So if you are traveling, you have the sort of pegs here that you can just sort of click in and out. It just sort of tucks away. It doesn't get damaged because these can really easily get damaged in a bag. So if you want to keep those protected, you can just sort of cover them in. Then the main feature of this is the flex line cable, which you can sort of pull out, and this is sort of the maximum distance of it. And then what you can do is you can choose whatever length you want. So it doesn't actually protrude back. You just have to sort of do a slight tuck on whatever length you want, and then you can just use it this way. So if you have this plugged in somewhere, you can just sort of easily do that, choose the correct length, and it charges your device. But then also it has a second USB port. So if you have a second USB-C device that you want to charge, maybe that's your laptop or it's another device like another smartphone or a smartwatch, whatever it may be, then you can always charge that as well. So you can just take a second cable with you and then just have one brick with you at all times to charge different things. But yeah, that is sort of it for this entire package from TORRAS. I really sort of love these cases. They are really sturdy. They're really well designed. They fit really nicely. They work really nicely with the screen protector as well. And the fact that the screen protector is so easy to install really does make it worth it. Now, of course, you can also bundle most of the cases, if not all of them, on the website itself. So if you are buying a case, you can bundle it, of course, with the screen protector. And the fact that you get two in the box, really nice. It just gives you that sort of peace of mind that if anything were to happen, let's say you drop your phone accidentally and it does break the sort of screen protector, that you can just sort of remove that, add a new one, and then you can just sort of go on with your life. I wish I could just sort of give you guys the force needed, but it does actually require quite a bit of force, which is really good because usually what you get with these sort of flip cases are very sort of flimsy sort of designs here on these sections. So if you were to sort of place your phone down, it would just slowly over time sort of sag down and fall. But with these, even if you have like a very low angle like this, it just stays there and it doesn't actually even like change the angle all that much, which is really nice. It is still MagSafe compatible. So if you, like I said, you have the wallet or whatever it is, or you have a MagSafe charger, it does still work with all of these. So yeah, be sure to check out TORRAS. I'll leave a link to all of these cases and everything down in the description below if you want to check them out, if you want to grab yourself a TORRAS sort of cover for your iPhone 16, or even just a screen protector, or whether that's both, whether that's a charging brick, any sort of other accessories. Do feel free to check those out. And also thanks guys for sending out all of these covers, the screen protector and everything else. Now my iPhone 16 is protected as well, so really do appreciate that. And then until next time, cheers.